What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ricky back with another video. Today I had the honor to interview Andreashavon. She's a 74 Delta CBRN specialist, and she's gonna let us know what to expect coming into that MOS. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, I am Andreashavon, or Specialist Starks, and I'm currently a 74 Delta in the Army, which is a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear specialist. I know that name is so long, but it is most commonly referred to as CBRN or chemical. So if anybody asks me what my MOS is, I usually just say I'm chemical or I'm CBRN. Before I jump into my MOS, I want to give a very special thank you to Ricky Bowden. I am collaborating with Ricky today to tell you guys more about 74 Delta and being a chemical soldier. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you so much for inviting me on your channel. Now, I do have a few questions here that I'm going to answer for you guys, and the first one being, in your words, what are the duties and responsibilities of a 74 Delta? Your duties and responsibilities of a 74 Delta are going to be along the lines of maintaining all of your CBRN equipment. So your radiac sets, your decontamination systems, your M50 Pro mask, all of these things, it's your responsibility to make sure they are full mission capable. You're also going to be responsible for implementing CBRN defense operations. You are going to be training soldiers on CBRN equipment as well as CBRN procedures, and you're also responsible for making sure that your unit is trained on CBRN response, detection, decontamination, and things like that. My AIT for 74 Delta was at Fort Leonard Wood. Now, I went to AIT back in 2016, but from my understanding, not much has changed. AIT is supposed to be 11 weeks, but for me, it was about 12 and a half to 13 weeks because I failed a test, so I got recycled. Luckily for me, there was a class right behind us, like just a week and a half behind us, so I just got recycled to the week that they were in, and I got to finish, so kind of put me a few weeks behind. But just so you know, if you're going to AIT, make sure you pay attention. Make sure you pay attention to the test. If you do not understand, ask someone so you actually understand it, because you don't want to fail AIT, not even fail AIT. You don't want to get recycled just because you couldn't answer a simple question on a test twice. It happens. It happens. So yes. As far as AIT, I really liked AIT. It is really compact though. There's so much stuff you have to learn about CBRN, and I think you just don't get enough time to learn everything at AIT. So they're just giving you the basics of what it is that you need to know, and to be completely honest, everything that you learn there, it's probably going to be outdated. And so when you get to your unit is when you are going to really understand your job. What is the most important thing a 74 Delta should know fresh out of AIT arriving to their first duty station? I'm going to break that question down into two parts, because first you have two different situations here. You have a non-chemical unit and then you have a chemical unit. And in a chemical unit, you're going to have it a little bit better because you're actually going to do your job. You're going to be surrounded with other 74 series who understand that straight out of AIT, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to be a professional because they've been there. They know that a lot of the stuff that you learn at AIT is barely going to help you scratch the surface of what it is that you need to know when you go to your first duty station. So they're going to be really willing to help you. So the thing that you need to keep in mind is be willing to learn. Try to get a good understanding of your job early on as you possibly can, because being at a chemical unit, you are in the perfect position to do so. Now, if you are in a non-chemical unit like I am in a non-chemical unit. First, they're going to expect you to know absolutely everything. You are going to have to be the subject matter expert straight out of the door, and it's a good chance you're not going to be that. But they're going to expect you to just know everything. It's a good chance that you're not really going to do your job for the first 2 years. Being where I am now, I didn't do anything CBRN. I didn't do anything CBRN at all. I was always in a motor pool. I was always on a detail. I was always out in the field. I just really didn't do much when it came to CBRN until I actually took over a CBRN cage. So right now I am the CBRN NCO of my headquarters. So I'm doing a little bit more when it comes to CBRN stuff. But as far as being a chemical soldier in a non-chemical unit, I will tell you the most important thing you need to know is find those people who can give you those answers. Find those people who can help you with CBRN. If you have a chemical unit around, make sure you're in touch with them because you're really going to need it. Because I head over to 83rd all the time like, hey, I should know this, I don't, can you help me? And they usually are pretty open to helping me. I can have them come down to my unit to give me a hand with stuff if I need it. The chemical core, it's really small. And honestly, the way I look at it, any type of chemical person that I've run into, you can ask them for help, no matter rank, no matter what, that they are going to be willing to help you. So you need to use that to your advantage. The people that you're in AIT with, you need to network with them. You need to get their social medias, phone numbers, things like that, because you're going to need it. I graduated AIT with 3 other people, and 2 of them went to a chemical unit and 2 of us ended up here in a non-chemical unit. And when I'm in charge of doing things that I can't remember from AIT, or if it's been so long that I've done anything chemical, I would actually call them like, can you help me out because I don't know how to do this? Or do you still have your books from AIT because they want me to do this and I have no clue where to start? So you need to network. That's my biggest thing, is you need to network. In the other companies, you're going to have CBRN representatives that may not necessarily be a 74 series, but these are people who were trained on CBRN stuff. Go to them as well, because it's a good chance if you're coming straight from AIT and they've been in this position for CBRN for, I don't know, maybe years, ask them questions, see if they can help you out a little bit, because they're definitely useful. Just because they're not chemical, they're useful. The next question is, how can the skills acquired as a 74 Delta be used in the civilian sector? Now, as a 74 Delta, you do have options outside of the Army if for whatever reason you decided to get out. For example, you can go on to become a firefighter. You can go on to become a radiology protection technologist. You can go on to become an associate safety professional, a hazardous control manager dealing with oil spills and hazardous material. And you can also come back and work with the Army as a civilian, training the new incoming 74 Deltas. So you have a wide range of options you have to choose from when it comes to getting out of the military. I would like to say, when you're going to your first duty station, when you get there, hit the ground running. Do not let anyone tell you that it is too early in your career to start thinking about promotions, to start thinking about advancing, to start thinking about doing these things that you want to do. So hit the ground running. Start thinking about that next promotion. Start thinking about going officer, going further when it comes to enlisted. All those things you need to start thinking about now. So if you feel like your GT score isn't where it is, sign up for fast class so you can get it where it needs to be. If there's Army schools that you want to take advantage of, put yourself in those positions so you can take advantage of those schools. Start getting some civilian credits in. Start doing your correspondence courses. Do your correspondence courses and max out on them as early as you possibly can, because I mean, honestly, that's your time. There's no reason within the first 6 months you can't have your correspondence courses maxed out. I would also say, don't let anyone else try to control your career. Don't sit back, think, oh, the Army got my career, they're going to take care of me. No, you have to take advantage of your own career. And I really, really mean that. So if you know for a fact that you have goals and you want to be progressive with your career and in life, do just that. You're going to have some people that don't like it. Oh, well, this is your career. This is your career. One thing that I always run into, especially when I'm mentoring people, they say things like, oh, what's the Army? They control your life. They control this. They control that. To a certain extent, you don't have to let them control what you get out of your career, though. You don't have to let them control that. And so that's one thing that I want to leave you with. And the second thing that I want to leave you with is, make sure you are surrounding yourself with really positive people. That way you can keep a positive mindset. And I say that from experience once again, because when I first got here, I was surrounded by very positive people. I mean, crazy positive people. And it gave me a really good, I loved it. I mean, yeah, you go through stuff, but I love being in the Army. But then when they started to PCS and leave, and then more people were coming in and they were kind of negative and down and hated the Army, I started to feel that. And I started to get the same, not the same way, but I was just like, you know what, I've had it. I've had it with this. So what you do in that situation is take yourself out, away from those negative people. You don't have to cut them off altogether. Just know when to cut the negativity out and move on to something that's positive, because I'm telling you, it's going to mean a world of difference when it comes to your experience, because that's what the military is. That's what the Army is an experience, and it's what you make out of that experience that's what's going to make or break it for you.
We really like to thank Andreashavon for giving us this insight into the 74 Delta MOS. If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. Please subscribe and like this video, and let us know down in the comments what you would like to see, what other jobs and Army careers you'd like me to highlight during this Army MOS series. Again, my name is Bowden, guys, and thanks for watching.